The fourth area, purpose. Let's think of it. It's one thing having a good self-concept. That means you know exactly who you are. And then it's another knowing what to do with it. Soonest I landed in Mombasa town in the year 2008, I revisited my dream. And after visiting colleges and campuses, I couldn't find any mathematics course to pursue due to my low grades. I made it clear to my parents that I was only going to pursue a mathematics course no matter what. I wanted to have my spoon back, and this time around, never to let go. This is me being stubborn at my best. Mother instincts took charge. My mother knew very well that I wouldn't change my stance by any means. Her paying attention to the events and programs happening in the country informed me of a program she had called the upgrading program that could allow one to resit for a minimum of one subject at KCSE level without necessarily going back to school. I still remember her phone call like it happened yesterday, the best news that I had at that time. Straight away, I knew that I had tapped into my purpose because of how I felt afterwards. My dream was revitalized, and that is how I signed up for it, and straight away, I grabbed my spoon back, held it tightly, and began a journey of feeding myself. But the mere fact that I had to rise from a point of failure meant that I had joined the ladder of specific education, but partially, since I had some work to do in perfecting a specific area from the ladder of general education, which meant that I had to carry that load with me to the ladder of specific education, a process I refer to as academic grafting. As to qualifying to drop out and drop in, as per the theories by Martin Luther King Jr. and Napoleon Hill, you may ask yourself how many years I spent in the so-called school environment undergoing academic grafting to the point that I achieved 100% specific education. You don't just drop out and drop in. It is indeed a process that can never be achieved with average efforts. It's never out of ordinary desire that you undergo academic grafting. It's never a one-day decision. It's never debated. It happens only to those who are committed to definiteness of purpose. The year 2008, KCSE upgrading, second attempt. The year 2009 through to the year 2011, P1 certificate, primary school teaching. The year 2013 through to the year 2014, diploma in early childhood education. The year 2015, KCSE third attempt. The year 2016, KCSE fourth attempt. The year 2017, KCSE fifth attempt. And then in August of the year 2018, I joined University of Nairobi after successful matriculation. And then in August of the year 2019, I dropped out of University of Nairobi. This is close to 12 years of focus, determination, dedication, persistence, and patience, all under one roof. I am stubborn. The key necessities for academic grafting. Let's now review this statement by Napoleon Hill that every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it a seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. Let me say this. I was in a secondary school that I didn't like completely. I felt at that time that it had nothing to do with my mathematics dream. The mathematics department of the school had its own challenges, which made my situation worse, leading to my failure. But then, the principal of the school at that time, Mr. Joseph Mwadime, was so clever. He had over the years looked at areas in which the school could dominate in, and so he invested a lot in indoor games, table tennis and badminton, and the school ended up dominating the district for years, and at times even at provincial and national levels. This is Mwakitala Secondary School. I happen to have benefited from it massively, having joined the table tennis team. And so in the year 2007, I had the chance to represent the district at the provincial level. I also participated in the Ocean Open tournament that year. I got the familiarization that has over the years proved to be vital in the educational environment that served to be my motivating factor to strive to be the best. So in the year 2008, after applying for the KCSE exam for the second time, and at a time when I had begun my daily routine of going to the library, it also happened that I was welcomed at Aga Khan Sports Club after link up with the coach at Oshal Academy, who had been there through my schoolmates who had also been there. That experience made my life so enjoyable and my library experience fun, since I had a place to go in the evening. I was not paying anything to be there, and that is how I fell in love with Aga Khan as a brand. Aga Khan schools being the places that I've visited the most during my academic grafting. What about mathematics? After my careful search at the mathematics shelf in the library, I got in contact with a book written by Donovan A. Johnson and others entitled Guidelines for Teaching Mathematics. Having joined the majority class, since most students fail in mathematics in my country, Kenya, and then taking into consideration my good self-concept, knowing very well what I could achieve in mathematics, I was intrinsically motivated to rise as a solution to challenges that inflict the mathematics environment. I saw it as an opportunity to showcase who I am as a person, character-wise. Considering my personality as a very stubborn person, and that I only thrive when I feed myself, a perfect opportunity presented itself for me to do exactly that. My low grades made it possible because no college or university invited me, a blessing in disguise. In that book, I read about the 3 essentials of a mathematics teacher, and they registered differently in my mind. That a mathematics teacher must motivate his students, communicate his knowledge to them, and then guide them to discover ideas. At the same time, while a stalwart supporter of Manchester United, I was watching Cristiano Ronaldo breaking records at his prime in Manchester United colours, and then in the finals of the Champions League, he missed a penalty in the penalty shootout against Chelsea. I saw how he reacted to failure, and then when the team later won, I saw how he reacted to success. I learned my own definitions of failure and success right there, which is so different to how my country defines failure, especially academic failure. Indeed, we can do it differently if we pursue purpose. Later that year, I did the exam with my main aim to get the grade A in mathematics, only to manage the grade C minus. But of course, I had my own definitions of failure inspired by Cristiano Ronaldo. Indeed, I can say that the year 2008 was a game changer for me. Prior to this year, I didn't have any reading culture, but my mathematics failure gave me that. I just found pleasure in reading mathematics literature, and that sparked my convictions in becoming the solution to the challenges in the mathematics environment of my country. Andrew Carnegie once said, "If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes." That is exactly what I did. But let me say that the 3 essentials of a mathematics teacher that later became the components of my brand at Doc Mathematics didn't happen to me just like that. It's because I vowed to myself to keep moving towards becoming the best version of myself no matter what. Much of what transpired in this process I refer to as academic grafting, you can find in my story, The Grade A Approach to Life. The 5th area, vision. Dr. Miles Monroe once said that your purpose is the reason for being born. Your vision is when you see it. In my commitment to be on the move, this is how my vision has developed over the years. I already knew that a mathematics teacher should motivate his students. It took one visit by Pepe Minambo to our teacher training college in Bura, Taita, where I experienced my first motivational talk. He introduced me to real motivation, and on realizing that motivation is a realm on its own, studying motivational content became a part of my life. It didn't stop there. I already knew that a mathematics teacher should be able to communicate his knowledge to students. It took my many visits to Aga Khan schools to realize the kind of a mathematics teacher that I needed to become. They set the standard for me because I remember having been told at the reception that in order to teach mathematics in the school, I needed to have the grade A in the subject. That became fuel to me, and that is why over the years, I bought the mathematics books that I needed. I went through them, mastering the content until I could communicate mathematics content effectively as if my own. Here, I had to sacrifice a lot. I had to humble myself just for the sake of becoming that which I envisioned in my mind. Can someone tell me of a teacher in my country who, despite graduating with a P1 certificate, having a TSC number and a diploma, could go back and join a secondary school and take on the KCSE exam, not for the first time, but for the fourth time? That is me right there. This is the year 2016 at Shimolatio Boys High School, working on becoming the best version of myself. It didn't stop there. I already knew that a mathematics teacher must be able to guide learners to discover ideas. This I later understood to be in the realm of leadership consultancy after my constant research. From having the view of helping learners to discover ideas to then rising in the full spectrum of leadership consultancy, my study culture was cemented. And this is the reason as to why I ended up with the personal professional brand at Doc Mathematics as a leadership consultant, motivational speaker, and mathematics teacher after successful academic grafting, achieving 100% specific education. Now I had myself to swim in the sea of my vision, that is, unleashing the potential of each individual by inspiring purpose and uniqueness, to love and enjoy the mathematics environment as an agent for thinking big, and to instill the discipline necessary to succeed for global positive impact. With my 4 pillars: rejuvenate your academic dream, maximize on your ability, achieve your dream, and then change the world. By the time I joined University of Nairobi in August of the year 2018, I was already a mathematics teacher with vast knowledge and experience in both primary and secondary mathematics. Remember, I had started teaching mathematics in the year 2010, creating my own experiences in both primary and secondary mathematics. I had 4 years of education, 2 years for the primary teacher education and 2 years for the early childhood education. So I had with me a broad perspective of looking at the mathematics environment of my country. I only needed to fulfill my dream of joining University of Nairobi, but I knew I wouldn't stay there for long since I had a lifetime project, my brand at Doc Mathematics, to grow into. I used my time wisely at the University of Nairobi to understand the mathematics environment at university level. And what a place to do it than at the University of Nairobi for me. Okay, when I say that it's never out of ordinary desire that one gets to drop out of university and drop in, it's because I've been through the process. I did not join primary teacher training college the normal way. I had to first visit the Kenya National Examination Council headquarters with my 2 certificates. Remember, I was among the pioneers of the upgrading program and therefore bringing something unfamiliar to the educational environment in as far as teaching is concerned. And through their intervention, I later received my admission letter and joined the teacher training college. It didn't stop there. When I got my results after completing the course, I did not get my TSC number the normal way. I had to express myself to the Teacher Service Commission quality assurance officers right at the headquarters before I was later issued with one. And this is after the intervention of the Kenya National Examinations Council. All these were near impossible situations. On the positive side, these were experiences that were familiarizing me with the educational environment of my country, Kenya. Indeed, these are the seeds of failure. I have over the years interacted with many people in the educational environment, be it principals of secondary schools, deputy principals, heads of mathematics departments, directors of the Teachers Service Commission, directors of the Ministry of Education, quality assurance officers, professors of universities. So I can comfortably say that I've been to the top educational offices in my country, top universities in my country. I've even been to the top TV stations in my country. All these happening because I had failed and I had to rise from a point of failure in my academic grafting to being the best version of myself. As I later learned listening to motivational speakers through the Motivacity channel, is that the wolf on the hill is never as hungry as the wolf climbing the hill, myself being the latter. Indeed, failure makes one hungrier, thus dangerous in a positive way when rising. You can't rise from a point of failure and not be a solution. It just doesn't happen that way, because nothing teaches success better than failure itself. Let me also say that I had the chance to experience 5 examination environments where I am directly involved. How else could I have had that experience were it not for failure? As to my 5 mathematics grades, let's consider this diagram. When you tie a stone at one end of a rope and then hold the other end and then begin to make circular motions, there will be 2 forces. Centripetal force that will tend to make the stone follow a circular motion, and then there will be the centrifugal force that will appear to direct the stone away from the axis of motion. This is what my 5 mathematics grade mean. In the year 2007, I was moving at a very slow pace mathematics-wise. Getting D- meant that I was in the majority class, the norm. If I could have stayed in that speed, nothing could have happened to me. I had to increase my speed until the centrifugal force outsmarted the centripetal force. In the year 2008, I only managed to increase my speed to C-. That was still not enough. In the year 2015, I increased my speed to C+, still not enough. In the year 2016, I still increased my speed of rotation to B+, still not enough. And then in the year 2017, I increased my speed to the grade A. Now the centripetal force that kept pulling me to operate in the norm was outsmarted by the centrifugal force and threw me to the uncharted territory. The rest is history. Let's have these questions for ourselves to ponder. Who is an ideal mathematics teacher? Who really is an educated person? Is dropping out of university still a complicated idea to you? Are you in a position to differentiate between an educated person and a learned person in the context of the educational environment of our country? Do you have a good self-concept? As pertaining to success, let me say this. Many notable success stories began in failure. Henry Ford went bankrupt before starting his Ford Motor Company. Thomas Edison, it is said about him that it took him 1,000 unsuccessful attempts before he created his first light bulb. Who am I to expect anything different? What else is left apart from this resolve as captured by Martin Luther King Jr. when he said, "You must have as a basic principle the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor."